my channel. Today we will learn something new, which is very interesting also. So in this video, we are going to discuss about menu driven program. What is menu driven program? Suppose when we call to a customer care, then they give us some choices. Like suppose choose one if you want to talk in English, choose two if you want to talk in Hindi, choose three if you want to talk in Bengali. So this is like menu driven program. In this program, we will also give the choice, or let me show first. Here I'm going to show you. So this is my menu. That means choose one if you want to insert a student, choose two if you want to display students, or choose three if you want to exit the program. So this is called menu driven program. Now let's start our program. This will be very interesting. So let's start the program. Here I'm going to show you this. So this is my class, and how can I define my class, or how can I explain? So I can say that I have used the class keyword followed by class name. So this is my class name is student, and here I am going to define the constructor. So this is my constructor. We know that double underscore is known as render method or magic function, and init, that means initialization, and these are some parameters: self, name, age, grade, roll number. But self is very important parameter because self refers the current instance. What instance? The instance that can access, or I can say the instance which we will use to access the class constructor or class. Okay, so these are my class attributes, or you can say in another word, you can say class properties. So as we already knew, actually I have made two videos on OOPS parts. You can check here, I have added a new option. Like if we choose three, we will get the option to search a student by his or her roll number. Now let's move to the very important program, I mean the main program. So here I have created a reference called students, and this student is of type list. That means the data type of this students is list, and this is an empty list. Why I have taken empty list? Because I want to add student details that will be provided by the user. So this is my while loop, and here I have given the option to the user to choose his or her choice. That means they can choose. So here the user will choose their choice, like 1, 2, 3, 4, and whatever input will user provide, it will be by default of type string, because input is a function of Python, inbuilt function of Python, so it is by default of type string. And if you want to take any data type integer, so we need to typecast here. So I'm going to typecast. Okay, let me do this. Now I have to give here int. Now it's typecasted, and whatever data we will get from the user, now it will be of type integer. Now let's move to the first part. Let me first print the program, run the program, and then I will show you. Okay, so you can check here that it is giving me the option insert student for 1, display student 2, and for enter roll number to search 3, and for exit we have to choose 4. Let me choose here 1 as my output, as my input. So it is giving me, wait, enter your choice 1, invalid choice, please enter 1, 2, 3. Okay, let me check what is going wrong. Wait, okay, there was something wrong in my network, that's why I got error. Now wait, so now I'm again executing the program, and we can check what is the output. So I think 3 underscore 5. Okay, so now it's asking me the choice. So I'm giving 1 as my input. It is asking me the name. So let's give a name like Tanveen. Enter the name, then roll number. So I have given the roll number 2. Then enter the age 20. Then enter the grade A, and again it's asking me the choice. So again, if I gave the choice as 1, then it will again ask me some detail or student details. So let me give the name as Sanaya Datta. Roll number, let's suppose 3, and enter age 19, grade B. Again it's asking me, so again I'm doing the 1. Actually I want to add few students. Vijay, roll number 8, enter age, grade A. Now let's suppose if I choose 2, then what will happen? It is giving me the details of the student, and we know that all these details get stored in the student list. So that's why we can get, actually we can say that this is my 0th index and this is my first index, and the last one was or is my second index. So if I give here 3, what will happen? So it is asking me the enter the roll number to search. So I'm giving the roll number 8 and enter. So I get the details of Bijoy. That means name Bijoy, roll number 8 and grade 8. I got it, the details. So let's check how it's coming. First, wait, I need to correct something. Here, colon and space. Now it's good. Okay. So first, for choice number 1, when we are going to insert student details, so let's see what should we do. This is the same we have already discussed in the previous video. So first we will ask the user to give the input, that means enter a name, and this name will be by default of type string. If you want, we can mention here, and if we not mention, it will okay, because we all know type inference property of Python. So it is okay if we not mention, but it will okay if you mention, because this will a good practice, or this is a very good practice if you mention the data types. So now the user will give us the name of the student, then the roll number, and the roll number will be again by default of type data type string, but we are going to typecast here, so it will be of type integer now, and in the same manner age will be of the type integer. Why? Because we have using here typecasting. So grade will be of type string, and when we will get all these details about a student, then what will happen? Then we will create an instance we will create an instance, and this is my class name. As you can check that I have named the class as student. So you can check here in line number 1 that I have given the name as student, where the capital where the S is in uppercase. Why? Because I have already told, and I'm saying that when we are going to define class, we need to mention the first letter of the class name in uppercase. Okay, so here I'm passing the parameters name, age, grade, and roll number, and using this we are calling the constructor. Which constructor? This is my constructor. So the control will go directly to the line number 2, and the constructor will call, and we can access the roll number, the name, role, age, grade. That means we can access the class attributes. These are my class attributes, right? So let's do again, let's move. Okay, so now once we call the constructor, we have accessed the class. Now we are going to append these class attributes in the students list. We have already got the details of students because we have given we are taking the user input. So now with the help we will use append function with the help of dot operator to append this information into the students list, and we need to pass the parameter the instance name. Okay, so my student added successfully. We can add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, any number of students. It doesn't matter. You need to only add 2, 3, nothing. So you can add any number of students. Now this was the user input. That means we just get the input from the user, and we get stored, and the details will get stored in the students list. Now, but how can we display the students? So for this we have to choose 2 as our choice. So let's move. We have already seen when we choose 2, we got, okay, let me show this. So when we will choose 2 as our output or as our input, then we will get the students details. Suppose if we added or if we appended 3 students detail, then we will get the, so when we choose 2, then we will use iteration. Actually this is not iteration, so this is a conditional statement. If student, that means suppose I have chosen a student like Tanvi, and we have Tanvi's roll number. First Tanvi is the name of the student and Tanvi's roll number. We have Tanvi's grade, Tanvi's actually what is Tanvi's age. Okay, so it will, the first we will check whether the student is present in that list, student list or not. If the student is not present, or if we not found the student, then it will give us no student to display. Else, if we get the student from this students list, then iteration will take place, and the first time iteration will take place, and it will pick the first student of the students list, sorry, from the student list, and will get stored in the variable or reference s. Again the iteration will take place, and second time it will again pick one student from the students list and will get stored in the reference s. And in the same manner iteration will take place until the condition met, or until the last students not picked or not stored in the reference. Now we will use the method to display the information of the students. And how we can get it? So here in line number 8, when we will go to the line number 41, the control will directly go to the line number 8, and we will get the info, display underscore info, or this is my method. So we will get the information in this way. So we need to just write here s.display underscore info with parenthesis. If we not mention a parenthesis, it will give us error. So it will better if you give parenthesis. So, and we know that here parenthesis, within parenthesis we need to mention self as a parameter. Why? Because self refers the current instance. So here self represent the student instance which we have given here. This student instance is, that means that this self refers to this student instance. Now when we will give the, when we will use the method to display the information, we will get the output in this manner. That means name Tanvi Kumari, roll number 3, age 20, grade A, like this. So I hope this is clear. Let's move to the third point, which is what? Let's check. So the third point is enter roll number to search a student. So now we will search a student by entering their roll number. And how we can get it? So let's do it. I have already shown you that how we can get a student details by its roll number. So first we will ask the user to give the roll number of the student, and this will be of type string by default, but we are using a type casting. Then I need to mention here teaser. So we are using a type casting, so the output or the input will be of type integer. Now we will check. What we will check? Whatever roll number the user will give, it is found or not. That means the roll number is present in the student list or not. So if the student is not found, that means the roll number is not found, then it will give us the false, and we can say that this is of type boolean. Okay, I'm going to mention here bool. So this is of type bool. If the student is not found, that means the roll number is not found in the list, then iteration will take place, and it will first pick. Oh, actually I need to say something else. Wait. Initially suppose that this is false, that means roll number is not found. So iteration will take place here, and first in the first iteration it will pick the first student details from the list students and will get stored in the reference s. And again the iteration will take place, and it will pick the second student details and will get stored in the reference s. Again it will take place until all the students are not get stored in the, or all the student details will not get stored in the reference s. Now we will check by using conditional statement. If s, that means the first student detail which is present at 0th index has the roll number equal to the roll number which the user gave or not. If the roll number is equal to the student's roll number, then we will use the method to display the information by using s, or by writing like s dot display underscore with parenthesis, so that we can get this display method, and we will get the output in this manner: name, roll number, age, and grade. And now the condition is true. That means we have found the student roll number. Now the loop will break, and but if the student is not found, then it will print student is not found. So in this manner, we can search a student by their roll number. Now let's move to the next part, exit program. So it is very simple. If we choose 4, then it will give us exiting the program and the loop will break. And else, or if we enter any other choices except instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, it will give us invalid choice. Please enter 1, 2, 3. Actually, here I need to add 3 and here 4. So now it will give us invalid choice. Enter. Let me again run the program. I'm going to give as input 1, and it is asking me the name. So I'm giving a name, Amrita, and roll number 1, age 23. So it's not 23. It should be less than 20 or 21. Okay, so age would be 19, suppose, and grade would be A. Then again 1, and student name like Sanaya. Roll number would be 2. Age would be 18, and grade would be 2. Oh, sorry, B. Again 1, name Tanvi. Roll number 3. Age 20. Grade B. Now I am going to give 2 as my input. Now it's giving the details. Name Amrita. This is my 0th index, and this is my first index, and this is my second index. So if I choose 2 as my input, then it will display the information of the, that means it will display the details of the student. And what if I choose 3? I can get the option searching a student by its roll number. So here if I give 3 as my input, it's asking me the roll number, so I'm giving the roll number. Now we can check here. It's giving me the details of the roll number. That means first it's going to check whether the student roll number is matching with the, that means it is equal to the roll number which I have provided or not. If the roll number is equal, then it will give us the detail like name, roll, age. Okay, let's again choose the 4. So it is giving me exiting the program. What if again I do this? Okay, suppose I'm going to enter the choice 1, then name, and B, roll number 2, roll number 1, age 20, grade A. Now if I choose my choice like 5, what will it give us? It will give us invalid choice. Please enter 1, 2, 3, or 4. So in this way, we can create a menu driven program, or menu driven, whatever you use. So this is a very important program, and I hope it's clear. Thank you very much for watching my channel, and stay happy and healthy. Bye bye. We will again meet with a new program based on OOPS. Thank you.